Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your favorite PhD student, Gerard. Man, this is my first video, first long form video. Hope I sound alright. We're gonna see in the end. But yeah, man, I wanted to come on here and talk more about school. I just finished my what is this, my third semester? I'm sorry, third year? I think I'm starting my third, end of my third year. My next semester I'll be starting my dissertation after I pass and complete this comprehensive exam. But so far, everything's going good. I wanted to get on here and just speak more about it. I know I do a lot of shorts. I don't know if people seen it. I do a lot of shorts. I guess that's how you start. I don't know much about YouTube, but I'm trying to get into it. But I created this page so I can have people go on this journey with me because it's all new to me. But go on this journey with me. I don't know if people are, or some people are thinking about going back to school. I've been in school my whole life. Like, for real, it's crazy. I can't believe I decided to go back, but I'm here now. Excuse me. I'm here now, so it is what it is. But yeah, I started this page so people like me who may not be from like a big family with like a lot of educators in it or a lot of doctors and lawyers and all that good stuff. So I wanted to start this page to kind of motivate people a little bit and also tell people that it's possible. You can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. You heard that a lot, but yeah, you can do it. It's not much to it, but just remaining focused, applying yourself, and just having a will and just staying motivated. That's really the main thing. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, man, I gotta read this again. I gotta write this 10 more pages, 20 more pages. If you don't like to read or write, man, it's gonna change your life. But this video I made today, man, tonight, I wanted to just talk about a lot of different things when we think of a PhD student, especially as a black man. I want to tell anybody, but specifically black men, you can do it. It's possible, and it's not something that should scare you or cause your senses to go off. It's very possible. So my PhD is going to be in public administration. I've always been a public servant, if you will. So I thought it went hand in hand. I didn't want to make a sharp turn to something that I've never done. Excuse me. So I felt like this was fitting for me. So that's what I decided to do. And the school I go to is called Westchester University. Very good school. It works for me. I love the professors. I love the courses. The courses are exactly what you need. And it's definitely a program that's accredited. And it's so far for me, the journey and the experience has been good. So if you're considering schools, I don't advertise for them, but Westchester University is a very good school. And check it out if you have the time, if you're looking for schools. But anyway, I created a non-exhaustive, exclusive list, if I could talk right. I created a list that I would just follow a little bit, just some pinpoints so I won't get lost because I'll be talking about everything, anything that people probably don't want to hear or care about. So one of the first things that I wrote on my list is just talked about the truth. I was supposed to just highlight the truth about school, about earning a PhD, things such as emotional things people may go through, financial aspects, and just ultimately the realities of going back to school, if that's what you're doing, even just going back to school. But right now I'm focusing on a PhD level. It's nothing special, but just at the same time, it is different. So that's one of the things I wanted to start with. Something they don't tell you. But if you're going back to school and you've been in school for a while, I'm pretty sure you're aware of some of these things. But I didn't write anything down, so we're just gonna freestyle this whole thing. So just stick with me. So emotionally, if you're an emotionally sound person, you can handle school, PhD, or master's, or anything. I don't think your emotions. Maybe if you're a person who don't do well with being a little like hidden, there's going to be times where you're going to not be able to talk to your friends and your family as much. You're not going to be shunned. You're not going to turn into a hermit. But you do have to study. You have to read, a lot of reading, and it's going to require you to take a step back sometimes. I think one good trait of a PhD student is knowing how to find a good balance. You got to find a balance so you can be successful and you can get through the program. Because if you think you're going to continue to go out and do everything and nothing changes in your life, you might want to wait, or you might just want to take one class at a time. Maybe that's better for you. But I do 2 classes per semester, and that's been a very good pace for me. 2 classes. I do one every summer, and that's a perfect pace for me. So yeah, emotionally, you will have to pull back a little bit, but your friends and family, they should understand, especially if they're good friends and family. That should be no problem at all. So I don't think that's too big of an ask for a PhD student, especially if it's something you really want. Financially, I really can't even speak to other programs or the normal route of paying for a PhD. So my job, thank God, my job pays for my schooling. So what I do is I pay for it first. I pay for it, finish the course successfully, finish the course, send in my transcript, my grade, all of the documentation saying I completed it, I'm a legit student, whatever. And they give me my money back. So I believe some people go to school and they have like stipends and stuff like that. I don't get that because I work full time and also my job pays for it. So that's one beautiful thing about my job that I love. Like, as long as I finish the course with an A, and most PhD, at least a good course, at least a good school, if you're making C's, then bro, you're not going to be in the program for too much longer. They don't really. Your GPA has to be a 3.0, and making too many C's, that's going to drop dramatically. I never understood that about a GPA. You can make 9 A's, you get a C, your shit plummeted. But anyway, yeah. So my school pays for it, but I'm sure people get financial aid and scholarships and everything like that. So, and excuse me if I'm not really on tangent. I just want to have a real conversation. I don't want to be all formal and stiff. So, I'm a real person. So, where was I? Emotionally and financially. So, get your money in order. If you have to take one course at a time, that may be about $2,000 or something like that, and you can pay it off yourself if you have to. But if you have a job that pays for it, that's even better. That's what I currently do, and that's a big blessing. It takes a lot off of my back. The next thing I wanted to talk about was choosing the right program for you. I have advisor highlighted, but I start working on my dissertation next semester. So I'm not there yet, but that will be up, and I'll talk about that later once I have that experience. I don't have that experience, so I don't want to lead anybody into the wrong place right now. But choosing the right program, I think I can talk about that a little bit. As far as school, in terms of your program, the reputation of the school is important also, if you want to look at it from that perspective. But a good accredited program, that's the basic. That's where you want to start first. Make sure the program is accredited and make sure they have a good reputation. Do people get jobs after they graduate? Is it a for-profit school? Things like that. But you have to do your own research. Don't just run with my advice, but those are some factors that I considered for sure before I started, because it's very important. You just spent a lot of time and money and effort away from your friends and family for something that should be very valuable. So if you go to a school that's less reputable or is not accredited, you just wasted 4 to 6 years of your life, and that'll be ugly because somebody hiring me. The school gonna hire me. Somebody gotta hire me. I don't care who it is, but yeah, I'm gonna need that for sure. Also, advisor support. I'm not there yet, but my advisor now, she does a great job. She checks in with me. She actually just sent me an email, but she checks in with me. Make sure I'm taking the right courses that I need, so I'm not wasting my time on my semesters, because time is money. So I really appreciate how she checks with me about that, and so that's another good thing. But also, yeah, just make sure the program is reputable. My school is very reputable. A couple celebrities have been there. Not saying that's what makes it reputable, but celebrities don't like to waste their time or money. But whatever. So yeah, make sure they're accredited. Make sure they have a good school reputation, and also make sure they have the program that you want I don't think you should go to a school because it may be reputable or it may have a nice name to it and it is accredited, but they don't have what you want. Like, that's one of the biggest factors because this is going to change your life. Make sure they have the program you want. Like I said in the beginning, I do public administration and I love it. It's a good topic. I can't wait to start writing my dissertation and building new information and just completing the whole thing. I'm ready to graduate. I believe at this rate I should be graduating in 2026, maybe December of 26, and I'm very excited about that. But yeah, like I said, man, make sure they have the program that you want. Don't just take a program. Oh, I think I can do this, or I might like this. No, make sure it's something that you're passionate about because you're going to be. The thing about it is a dissertation or PhD. The thing about that is you're creating new information. So I wouldn't advise going into doing research. It's very lengthy, and it's something you don't like. So if I had to give one fundamental piece of advice, if you're starting or in the program or about to jump towards your writing and your research, make sure it's something that you like. Because if it's not something that you like, it's going to make it that much harder. But that's my 2 cents on that. What else do I need to talk about? How to apply. It's a very good topic. How to apply for a PhD. Applying for a PhD outside of interviews, and unless it's some bougie school that does interviews, outside of interviews, the process really isn't much different. Recommendations. One thing I do at any job or my previous professors, I have to build good relationships. You gotta build good relationships with people. I've never left the job on bad terms. I never walked out saying, F this, F y'all, I got a new job. Because if you get a new job or want a new job or want to go to a school and they say, hey, what's your last employer? We're gonna call them. Now you out of luck. So that's crucial. You must build great foundations with relationships. What they say, your network determines your net worth, is true. So when I first started applying, I had 2 different schools that I went to that I applied for. Excuse me, and I got into both of them. Damn, I'm a little smarter than I thought. But anyway, each school I believe wanted 3 to 4 recommendations from either former employees or bosses now that you had while you're applying at the time. So it was easy for me. I worked hard. I was diligent. I was always on time, and I did my job, and I had a good attitude. That's one of the most important things. And I know I'm getting off topic. That's why I got my list. But anyway, having a good attitude and being a good employee. I'm not saying everybody needs to be an employee, but just having a good attitude, that can help you in the long run. So when I applied and I needed recommendations, everybody was eager and happy to help. What else can I do for you? Let me know. Keep me posted. So that was a no-brainer. You need a resume, of course. Keep your resume in order. I try to update mine. I really update mine very frequently because as I traverse through school, I try to add different things. Might throw in a couple courses that sounds relevant to my resume. So you always want to do that. I try to update my resume probably quarterly, or if not, probably twice a year. But it's always something that's substantial. It's not just a small piece or I'm just throwing in a course that I took because I want to put it on there. You know, how is it relevant to your field or any job that you're trying to do? So that's important. Interviews, I didn't do an interview for mine. So resume recommendations are good. Now they will want writing samples. I just came off of working on my master's degree. So luckily for me, all I had to do was I save all of my schoolwork, my coursework. So what I did, I just went back, grabbed a good paper that I thought was good and spoke on what they wanted me to speak on and just uploaded it. Good to go. Now, if they're asking for a writing sample about, I forget what it's called. They're going to ask for, they're going to ask for what you want to study, professors you want to work with from their school. Yes, you have to go and look at their page. Don't say, I don't know anybody. They're going to tell you maybe next time. Yeah, if they ask for that writing sample, you have to write a fresh new document. But I actually enjoy writing. It's like running to me. It's something that you have to get into, but I enjoy writing, and I enjoy writing lengthy papers. I know some people probably hate that, but it's kind of, when you finish and you hit submit, it's nothing more rewarding. But when you're doing it, it's annoying, but it can be done. So yeah, writing samples, they're gonna want that. Make sure you proofread it. Please get somebody else to proofread it, because once you start reading something, you know how it sounds. You become familiar with how it sounds, and you know what you're trying to say. But you need somebody else that's going to say, "What are you talking about? You didn't capitalize this. Where's your comma? Where's your period?" So writing samples are important. You want a resume. They may ask for a CV resume, but if you're not teaching or you haven't been doing research, just send them a regular resume. Recommendations are important, so make sure you build great foundations and of your friendships, because that's important. They're going to come back and ask you to give them recommendations and people who think highly of you. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Hope I didn't get too far off tangent. What else? Next is, what did I write? PhD myths. I don't think I had any myths that I was thinking about. Yeah, one thing. When I applied, I applied to two different schools, and I got into both of them. So it relates to the myth that I have written right here, because I thought that you had to be a genius. So when I got in, I was like, "Oh shit, I might be a little smart." But if you submit everything that they want, and you have good school records, you'll probably get in. Now, of course, if you start applying to more like Harvards and shit like that, then yeah, you might be on to something. But yeah, you don't have to be a genius to get into a PhD school. Matter of fact, people with PhDs now, unless you're some type of physicist or some type of damn, something where numbers, at least in my mind, you dealing with numbers and the sciences and math and all that stuff, then yeah, you on a whole different level. But if you're dealing with like theoretical things and things like that, not lessening the value, but sometimes it is what it is. But you don't have to be a genius to begin a PhD, because the thing about it is, it's not enough people to create new information. Now, it's enough people to create information, but the thing about it is, are they, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, are they known? Are they trusted? Meaning, do they have the letters behind their name, i.e., EDD or PhD, doctorates? What good is being a doctor if you don't have the degree behind it? Unfortunately, you need it. So, but yeah, you don't have to be a genius to begin a PhD, because you're gonna learn, and plus you're gonna be in one specific area, your niche. So most PhD students, they don't know everything. They know a lot about their area and their field, as they should, but they are smart. But to get in, you do not have to be this genius, just, oh my gosh, Albert Einstein. That's not true. That's probably the only thing I've ever heard. You're going to read and write a lot. That's over with. That's over with. I've never read so much in my life, and I actually love reading. I love reading. Like, before I started this, I read about 40 books a year. I don't know if that's a lot to y'all, but yeah, before I started school, I averaged about 40 books a year, just reading what I wanted to read. But once I started school, nah, I ain't even want to read personally anymore. But I can't think of too many. I can't think of too many myths. But I actually didn't look it up. I only went off what I know, because that's going to be the determining factor. If you think it's hard, then yeah, it's going to be hard. But if you're searching for myths and other information, then that's going to swamp your brain with somebody else's fears. So matter of fact, don't even go into any program or any level thinking it's hard, because you're going to freak yourself out. And imposter syndrome is very real. I know once I started my PhD and I got into class with these other students, they were lawyers, they were teachers, they had been heads of schools, and I'm thinking, bro, I'm just a police officer. I'm thinking like, man, what the hell am I doing? Like, I got a master's degree. I'm kind of smart, but these people were lawyers, like legit lawyers, like teachers. Um, I worked with a guy on a presentation I had, and he was the dean of criminal justice at John Jay College, and I'm like, John Jay is a legit school, like. So it was, I guess it was kind of nerve wracking, but I didn't count myself out. I was very confident, but at the same time, I knew that I had to like just step up my game. That's all. You just have to do more to gain more. So don't let it defeat you, and it's very possible. Um, Next over here, emotional roller coaster of how to cope. I don't know. I don't know why I put that down because I think my emotions are pretty much in check. Mental health challenges. I guess as I stated before, if you're someone that needs like I don't want to say attention, but if you're somebody that needs to be like I guess with your friends a lot, then yeah, you might feel a little initially you might feel some type of hopefully not depressive state because it can be lonely. It can be alone, especially if you have people that don't really get it. They don't really understand what you're doing. Then you're gonna start drifting from them further and further. So make sure you have a good support system. That's the main thing. Whether it's your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your sister, brother, just make sure you have people that you can talk to. And don't forget to take breaks and think of yourself. Do what you like to do. I love running. I love running. So when I get out on the trail and I run, I forget I'm in school. Got my music going on, and I just chill, man. I love just vibing out because when you're reading, and they don't care about your other courses. When you're reading 900 damn chapters, and you gotta find a way to just vibe out. So mentally, I'm in a good place. I try to stay strong mentally. I talk to my family every day almost. And I got good friends and I got people that love me. So that's important. Just finding people that care for you and that can help support you. So don't think it's something you gotta do alone. You're not in prison. So just make sure that your support system is there for you and in line. Um, this is a good one. What I wish I knew before starting my PhD. Um, if I had to tell something to incoming PhD students about what I wish I knew before starting, I would say, hmm, that's a good one because I have a type A personality, so I don't let much defeat me. But I would say this: if you're someone that does not work well with others, you can do it, you can complete it, you can do the program, but it won't be as smooth. I know when I'm having issues or I don't understand something, I got classmates. We text on the phone. Hey, bro, what are you thinking about this? Like, how is this paper going for you? And they say, man, I'm confused too. You gotta reach out. You gotta reach out. Like I said initially, you gotta reach out. You gotta build a good foundation of like-minded people to work with because trust me, what they used to say in school, you're not the only person with that question. And I see what they mean now. So, yes, to any incoming students, work together, not cheat, not plagiarize, not steal people's ideas, but work together, exchange phone numbers, emails, study together. That's going to be crucial because you're all going through something new. It's exciting, but it's very challenging. So, work together. Also, keep your work. I think that's another big thing for me. Even though I do it, keeping your papers, keeping your all your files, homework, coursework, reading materials, your books, that's going to be important, especially if you have a comprehensive exam. I don't know how other programs do it because I'm only focused on mine, but you want to keep all of that stuff because that's going to be crucial because you may need to go back and read, study for something that's 2 years down the line that you haven't even encountered yet. So that's very important. But yeah, working together, that's crucial. That's crucial because you can't do nothing alone in this program. So working together is important. It's still raining, blowing me. So yeah, as far as things that I wish I knew, that's probably one of the biggest things that I wish I would have known, even though I already did. But if I had to give advice to somebody else, working together, that's all. What else do I have here? Next, this is a good one. Is a PhD worth it? The pros and cons. Hmm. Is a PhD worth it? Well, I think worth, that is a very subjective word. I don't think you can tell somebody what something is worth. Um, now, what goes on top of telling somebody what something is worth? Follow me, stick with me. I think what goes on top of that about worth is the economy. How are jobs? Are people working? Are people getting jobs? Other than that, if you want a PhD, do it. I think I wouldn't let somebody get me out of my mind frame, my state of mind of you're right, I'm not doing it. They're just projecting their fears on top of you. But is it worth it? To answer the question, yes. I've always wanted to teach, and let me explain why it's worth it to me. It's worth it to me because everything that I do and have done in my life through the grace of God, I've always been able to do it at a very high level. So when I got my first job, I was the best at it and I rose to the top of it. Then when I got my next job, I did what I had to do and I rose to the top of it. So personally, if I want to teach, which I do plan on teaching here shortly, I want to do it to the top level, i.e. a PhD, at least for me. A PhD would be that level that I want to do. That's the key thing. So the worth, I can't talk tonight. The worth is very subjective. If you think it's worth it, then it's worth it. End of story. But yes, it is worth it. I think it's worth it financially, and it's a very rewarding thing. Excuse me. Um, Now, some people don't start off making all this money that they think they're going to make, but if you're in academia, I wouldn't always go into thinking you're just about to be making millions of dollars because academics has never been like a very fruitful, at least not for the average person. Now there are outliers and there are different things that you can do to obtain more money, but initially you have to grind. Academia is it's a grind. Um, One of the pros for me one pro that I can see for earning a PhD, um, is going to change your life. You're going to be your reputation, not just like, oh, he got a PhD. No, it's something. It speaks to your level of professionalism, like, and your education, and you should know what you're talking about. I think I know what I'm talking about because I love my subject, but yes, that's one of the pros of it. You're now going to be like a subject matter expert, what I call a SME. Um, and I feel like that's a very good pro because now you can, in terms of that reward of the top dollar, now you can ask for that. Now you can demand that. So I think it's very much worth it. And that's one of the pros of it. One of the cons, I'm a very optimistic person. I don't really look at cons, but if I had to give one, um, maybe your time, maybe the time of a PhD. If you're somebody who wants like instant gratification, or you just don't think it's worth it because you're putting in all this time and you may not get top dollar, then that's just a personal thing. I don't look at it from that angle. I don't think I'm wasting my time. I know my hard work will pay off, and plus, it's something that I'm doing that hasn't been done in my family. There's no doctors in my family. We don't have a lawyer, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying sometimes you have to elevate. That's another pro. You have to elevate your family, change the trajectory of your family, whether it's your whole family for you or if it's your small family, wife, kid, whatever, husband. That's another thing I had to look at and consider. So that's that for me. Um, Dissertation writing. I'm not there yet. Like I said, I start next semester. Kind of nervous about it. I know what to expect a little bit, but at the same time, it's like, are they gonna like it? Am I going to have to do edits over and over? Because I hear a lot of stories of people saying, man, I'm finished with everything. I just got to go back and edit the paper. Now your graduation pushed back this December. Nope. Now it's in, what's the other, May. Now it's, I don't have time for that. But I'm going to skip that one because I'm not on my dissertation yet. Explore non-academic career paths. I want to go into academics. Networking, yep, working together. PhD survival guide. Advice from experienced students. That's a very good one. For me, if I had to tell, I always think about what I would want to know if I was starting. So what I like to do is just, if I had to tell somebody else a survival guide, keep all of your information. Keep all of your information. Keep all of your books, your notes, especially if you have a cumulative exam, like a comprehensive exam like I do. That's very important because that comprehensive exam is going to come from all of your coursework. So if you can keep that in those books, because my comprehensive exam is open book. You're writing though, but it's open book. So you can use all of your supplies that you already have. You don't have to go and buy something, try to ship it before you start writing your exam. And it just becomes a longer process, and now you're stressing out. So yeah, survival guide number one, yep, keep all of your information. Everything, notes. Every course that I take on my desktop, I create a new folder for it. Every assignment, I just throw it in there, and I got it. So I know what to look for. Number two on the survival guide, working together. Working together. Yes, you submit your homework and your coursework by yourself, but there should be no reason why you can't work with your coworkers. I'm sorry, you can't work with your classmates, whatever you want to call them. Like, that's important. I've reached out every semester to a classmate. Hey man, what you thought about this assignment? How you doing on this assignment? You need some help? We'll get on Zoom. Hey, we talking about this shit for real, because there's no reason why you should go through something by yourself, especially when somebody else has the same question. I guarantee there are people out there that have the same issues, the same question that you're thinking about. Just say it. Just ask for help. And that's number three, ask for help. The professors are not there to see you fail. They don't want you to fail because now you're harassing them. But yeah, for sure. Definitely ask for help, man. There's no reason why you should go through it by yourself. You have your advisors if you're in the process of writing. Then you have your my advisor's not going to be on my board, but yeah, you have people that are out there that's going to help you. My school has a writing school, and they you need some help. We can help you write better, help you focus and narrate. I'm losing my voice, but yeah, that'll be the third thing. Ask for help. You got to ask for help, man. Research, I'm not there yet, but to thrive. Another number 4 for the survival guide. Be timely. Be timely, man. Like, I know I don't submit no assignment on the day that it's due. I'm submitting that shit like 2 days early, for real. Because especially for me, I travel a lot for work, but I try to submit things very timely because, especially if you have to go back and change something. But other than that, it looks better when you submit stuff before it's due, not too far, because now they're gonna think, man, he just played with the assignment. But yeah, submit things in a timely manner, man. I think to me it says a lot. Like, I try to be on time in my personal life everywhere that I go. So my friends know that. They hate that. So that would be my 4 steps on survival guide. Keep all your stuff, work together, ask for help, and be timely with your information and your paperwork. That's important. Pros and cons, PhD abroad. Pros and cons and how to get started. Applying for international programs. I didn't apply for no international programs. That would be cool though, but no, I couldn't live overseas and go to school, because what if it's somewhere lit? I couldn't be in London and focused. I want to venture out too much. I think I could do it if I lived there first. Like, if I lived there for like a year first and get it out my system. But if I'm over there trying to study, nah, that ain't gonna work. I'll be out there bullshitting. The last one, transitioning into the next chapter. I'm not there yet. Talk about postdoctoral opportunities. I'm not there yet, but I hope they come. I hope they come. But nah, man, if you've tuned in, I really appreciate you tuning in. I hope this ain't too long. Right now I'm on 35 minutes. Like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you for listening. But I really just wanted to give more insight to anyone considering going to school, whether it's your master's or a PhD. I think it's important. If it's something you want to do, then do it. Don't let anybody else deter you or throw you off of your path, man. Like, do what you got to do for yourself, for real. But yeah, that's about it, man. Like, comment, and subscribe, man. Your favorite PhD student. I'm gonna keep y'all posted. Hey, check it out. What? 2026. I'm trying to be out of there. I'm trying to walk across that stage. Real talk. I don't even like playing with school like that. I be trying to get in that thing and get out of there, man. 2026, we graduating, Shawty. We graduating, man. Dr. Boykin, on the motherfucking way. On the way. Hey, if you coming to the graduation, pull up. But nah, 2026, man, I'm trying to get out of there. I'm trying to write this thing, defend. I ain't trying to play with these people. Nah, man. But hey, like, comment, and subscribe, man. Follow the page. Leave me a comment. Follow my Instagram, Mean Twin. I got a TikTok, Mean.Twin. Hey, man, the academic hustle. Follow me. I appreciate you for tuning in, man. Stay tuned. I got more content on the way, man. Stay tuned, but it's been a good one. I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Peace.